Hi, this is Bill Hader.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bill Hader. Bill Hader.
Hello, welcome to We Heart Hater. I am the Baron, who's going to tiptoe into your ears.
And I'm Casey Killingsworth, and I did not find enough to come up with a funny quote for my intro.
So we are doing a sequel to our second episode, No Small Roles. So this will be No Small Roles 2 Electric Boogaloo Animated Film Edition. Just going over the very small little bits, movies that he's done some work in. There's also some ones at the end that kind of skirt the line between being kind of animated or just kind of being a voiceover. Bill's very first voiceover roles. The downside is this was done with the Weinstein Company.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But
Oh jeez.
what are you going to do? But one thing I was very glad to hear recently that finally Dogma is back in the hands of Kevin Smith. So I'm looking forward to things to go for that. I think I want a few people actually have the DVD that got released from that. Dougal has a very interesting history. It is based on a French cartoon that got dubbed into English in the UK called The Magic Roundabout. It ran from 1965 to 1977. It was a stop-motion animation show, 2005. They came out with a movie edition, but the UK, very much like with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, in the US, they changed that to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. They've changed this to Dougal, which is the dog. The thing is, Dougal's not even the main character. The original script was adapted by Butch Hartman, well known for the Fairly Odd Parents. But in comes the joys of Mr. Weinstein. He rejected the script. He wanted more pop culture references and toilet humor in it. Not only did that, there's only 2 actors from the original movie, which is Ian McKellen and Kylie Minogue, who they're the only people from the original UK cast. So they first felt that they had to have US voices rather than just go with the original voices. Changed the name to have the main character be the dog that really doesn't have that much of an effect on the movie. Had the script hacked to pieces just to get. Joining him in this is Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Fallon, Chevy Chase, Jon Stewart as the villain. There's a behind-the-scenes video. Jon Stewart was talking about how he was approached by Weinstein to do this.
Harvey Weinstein called and said, do this film. And I fear him, as most do. And I said, yes. Please don't hurt me.
Role. And he plays Soldier Sam.
10. I'm back.
Bill Hader. Bill Hader is playing Sam, the little tin soldier.
Sam the sidekick, ready to blindly follow orders. Sir!
I was trying to do a chipper British guy, and it ended up sounding like kind of like Terry Thomas.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good to see you. You know, kind of all that.
Hello.
Insane optimism.
Hello.
You know, that Monty Python kind of like, sorry, sir. Sorry. So bad.
This ain't the ballet, Nutcracker.
Don't have the shoes for it, sir. Now march. Capital idea. Real cool. Hey. I call this one the spin cycle.
He starts twirling a baton, and so you have to match like every like,
1, 2, here I go. And
you know, every little.
look at that, I'm great. Boop, I'm average. Nope, I'm terrible. Nope, I got served.
Interns.
I'm sorry, has anyone seen my...
This is not gonna work.
So they live in an enchanted village, which is under the care of Zebedee, a kindly wizard. However, a dark cloud approaches the sunny world. After being encased in ice for eons, Zebad, who is Zebedee's evil double, played by Jon Stewart, reappears and threatens to start another ice age. The only way to stop Zebad is for Florence and friends to find 3 magic diamonds before he does. Kind of a la Infinity Stones. I do love Bill's performance in this. If you want to find it online, I think it's on Prime Video, and just skip to all the Soldier Sam parts, I think that's probably going to be your best way to do this, because it just got hacked to pieces. None of the original charm. I haven't actually seen the original Magic Roundabout, but they couldn't just take the whole movie and bring it over. They had to have all the recast all the.
I've pretty much heard nothing but bad things about this movie, aside from the Weinstein and Chevy Chase and Jimmy Fallon of it all. there seems to be absolutely no comprehensible plot to speak of, and it got pretty poor reviews. But I got a kick out of seeing Bill talking about how he prepared to play a very chipper, Python-esque Michael Palin type character as the Nutcracker behind the scenes clip that surfaced on YouTube. So that was nice, although some of these are like ADR level small roles, in my opinion. And when did you say the original animated TV show version of this was on, Deej?
Well, the original TV show was produced in France from 1965 to 1977, and it was dubbed into English for the BBC.
Yeah, you mentioned Kylie Minogue was one of the voices, and I was like, does the timeline of that line up, given her age? Oh, I see. Although if her and Ian McKellen did that show together, that explains why they hosted SNL at one point together.
The original Magical Roundabout film was released in 2005 in the UK.
Oh,
I see. One of the things they do is they have Kevin Smith doing the internal thoughts of a moose, but his whole point is they're just farting on the villain.
Gotta get those fart jokes in when you're making a kid's movie.
It could have been really good. I should try and watch the original one of these days, but just based on this, the things I do for Bill Hader. I mean, it's not quite Solomon Brothers level, but it comes pretty damn close.
The things I do just for the sake of being able to say I have a podcast of my own.
For 2009, Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. This is produced by Blue Sky Studios, who also did Rio, active from 1997 and 2001. He's playing a gazelle, Diego, saber-toothed tiger.
Ha! 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 Woo! My hooves are burning, baby. They are burning. Oh, look at this. I got a tiptoe. Eat my dust, dingo.
So luckily this is one that's right at the beginning of the movie, and the clip is readily available online. So if you're a fan of Ice Age, I would say watch it. But
I saw a clip of the chase scene, and again, this is mostly ADR. He's just running and everything, just out of breath sound effects. And Bill seems to have just one line, just gloating to Dennis Leary's saber-toothed tiger Diego. That he's just, hey, I'm faster than you, and you're too old and slow and out of shape to catch me. So it seems fairly inconsequential to the movie, and I was personally never a big fan of the Ice Age films to begin with.
From 2011, Hoodwink 2, Hood vs. Evil. This is a sequel to the original Hoodwink, which is a retelling of the Little Red Riding story. And for some reason, in the sequel, they've turned into some sort of like secret spy company. I have no idea why. They join forces with the Happily Ever After Agency. Wolf, Granny, and Twitchy are on a rescue mission to save Hansel and Gretel from an evil witch named Verushka. However, the plan goes wrong, and Granny is kidnapped as well. Meanwhile, Red is in training with a mysterious group called Sisters of the Hood, where she learns the secret, all-powerful truffle recipe has been stolen. This is an ugly movie. Is what I'm going to say first. When it comes to any kind of animation, be it anime, regular animation, stop motion, or in this case, computer, I really find the character design not great. In this case, I feel it's really not great, and not the best quality animation either. But surprise, another Weinstein Company production. It was very hard for me to sit through. On the plus side, we have Bill Hader playing Hansel and Amy Poehler as Gretel.
I have really taken to this giant monster thing.
Yeah, we are naturals. Do you think they compete in giant monstering?
Stop right there. Drop those truffles and surrender.
Oh, me tummy. Oh, me tummy.
You cannot dominate us.
Our sweet perfection has made us unstoppable.
Run for your life! Hold your ground. We can't let them get by us.
Next stop, Smash Eater.
Stop right there.
Fred.
Get back, Nick. We'll handle this.
We?
Yeah, Hansel. I only see one little girl. All alone.
She's never alone.
Thank
goodness.
Last chance, kids. Drop the truffles and surrender.
Surrender? We don't do the surrender.
We are unstoppable! Go!
You know you cannot be defeating us. Go ahead, run away like a little girl.
What did you call me?
No, Red. Keep going.
Yeah, you just keep running away.
Like a scared little girl.
We did the tricking of you, you silly little girl.
That's just really great. Now they can get away. Or worse, they could figure out that if they eat more truffles, they would become completely unstoppable.
Really?
Wolf!
Did I say that out loud? Wait for it.
What is happening?
See, kids, you shouldn't overdo sweets. Those super truffles are also super high in fat and calories. I'm stuck.
Schnitzel.
So this would be Bill and Amy's first appearances on an animated film before Inside Out, the much superior project.
Now I'm kind of glad I didn't watch the whole movie. I just saw a clip of Bill and Amy together, and I have to say, this one makes it slightly easier to look past the Weinstein of it all, because it is saved by the strengths of individual performances and, you know, Boyd unrecognizable names.
Yes.
I mean, Bill and Amy do work quite well together as Hansel and Gretel, and Patrick Warburton makes for a fun big bad wolf. But otherwise it looks like another milquetoast kiddie flick that's tried to get some big names to save it. Came pretty close, but came up a little bit short.
Yeah, there we go. So Twitchy is a squirrel. Little Red Riding Hood is played by Hayden Panettiere. Glenn Close as Granny. I would not recommend this film. And this, I do believe I will put this one in the same category as Brother Solomon. Which, I guess, for me will forever be my baseline for, is this really terrible or not? So the next one, I was actually really surprised by this one, and I just found out today in a Canadian production, 2013, Escape from Planet Earth. On the planet Bab, B-A-A-B, not B-O-B, dashing astronaut Scorch Supernova, as played by Brendan Fraser, is a national hero and master of daring rescues. However, Scorch does not work alone. His nerdy brother Gary, played by Rob Corddry, head of mission control at BASA, often tends to quiet behind-the-scenes support. They get a distress signal from what is called the Dark Planet, which is, of course, planet Earth. He gets captured by Area 51. Produced by Rainmaker Entertainment, which was previously known as Mainframe Studios, were responsible for Reboot and the Beast Wars series. They're based up here in Vancouver. Now, Bill is uncredited in this film, but he's kind of in little bits and pieces all over the place. There's one part where he's a news reporter, and I'm just going to pull up this clip. As the voice of the system at Area 51, this is my absolute favorite part that I laughed out loud at.
System overload. Evacuate. Evacuate. Seriously. Get out of here. Everybody, out. Grab. Gotta go. Uh-oh.
Just the extended enthusiasm of the stress system. That got me laughing out loud. But on the whole, I love the animation, although I can't imagine how someone from another planet would be called Gary. So this is one I definitely recommend that you watch, because it was absolutely charming, had a good sense of family dynamic. Scorch, who is the bigger guy, keeps referring to Gary as little brother, but not in the terms of that he is the younger brother, he's just the shorter brother.
So yeah, I couldn't find a clip of just Bill's part, but what you just heard was my first real exposure to this movie. Yeah, it does seem like it's worth watching, maybe not just for Bill's part, because fun, it clearly made me laugh, but it seems like a very inconsequential, blinking you'll miss it type role. It's, fun, but not crucial.
Well, he's all over the place. So like early on in the film, he's a news reporter, and then there's another scene
Attention aliens, please report immediately to the cafeteria. And remember, levitating in the passageways is strictly prohibited. Attention aliens, lunch is now being served in the cafeteria. Please be mindful of the Joes, as they are unusually sloppy.
It's available on Plex.
So yeah, this seems definitely worth watching for the movie itself, not just for Bill's parts, because I caught quite a few things that I found genuinely charming and laughed at that, so I will have to give it a watch sometime.
So next is Monsters University, which is a prequel to Monsters, Inc. He plays a slug, starts and ends the movie in a lot of ways.
Oh, man! I can't be late on the first day! I made it! My first day of class!
The school year's over, son. You missed it.
Great.
There's also a referee when the competition they have in the film. The part of the slug, though, is available online, and it's cute. He's trying to get the class, of course, being a slug, he's incredibly slow.
You'd think a slug would knowingly homeschool himself, or study by mail or something, but...
Or skateboarding.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. But it was a good prequel to Monsters, Inc. It's classic Pixar all the way.
Yeah, I mean, not worth watching just for Bill, but if you're the fan of Pixar and the Monsters, Inc. series, go for it, because each of his scenes are pretty inconsequential. Just the referee has one line, the slug gag is just a heavily telegraphed slow joke, so you know where that was going, and you know that's... Both of those are found online if you know where to look by themselves. Yeah. So
moving up to 2016 with Finding Dory. Very cute story behind this. Bill has made it very much known that his daughters really don't think much of his film career. They just see him as dad. Perfectly reasonable. And so he tells this tale of taking his daughters to see Finding Dory, and then the middle daughter is very surprised that her dad is in this film.
Especially like an animated movie. I remember taking my daughter to see Finding Dory, and she heard my voice at the beginning, and she stood up and just walked out.
You just broke the fourth wall for me.
And I had to walk after. I go, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Are you in the?" She had a little lateral lift. "Are you in the whole thing?" No, that's the only scene I'm in. He's like, "You swear you're not in the rest of the thing?" I was like, "No." She's like, "All right." And she like came back in like super pissed off, like with little like cat ear things on. Like, right. And then we watched the rest of the movie. But
he's kind of more like the befuddled dad, and Kate McKinnon as a wife being a bit more together of the two. But they had great chemistry, and...
Did you hear that?
What was that? Hear what?
Stan, I heard someone say hello.
Who? I didn't hear anybody say hello.
I don't know, Stan. I just heard someone say hello.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish here. Literally anybody could have just said hello.
There.
Where?
There, right there.
Where am I looking?
There.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Oh my goodness, it's a child. Hello?
Hi, kid.
Hello?
Over here. Hello?
Dory, are you lost?
Yeah, well, where are your parents?
I can't remember.
Oh.
We'll look around. Are any of these fish your parents?
I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Oh, how awful.
Short-term memory loss.
Okay, just you wait here for 1 second, okay, sweet pie? Stan.
What?
What do we do? The poor thing is lost.
I don't know. I mean,
what do you
want me to do? I mean,
she can't remember a thing.
She could come from anywhere.
Wow, you are no help today.
I'm just...
Dory, sweetie, how about we...
Oh, she's gone.
Dory?
That's not good.
Dory!
Hey, Dory!
I did see Finding Dory in the theaters. Really, again, it's Pixar, good quality, good animation, good story, despite the now not so good and the generous of it all. But, you know, for what it was at the time, it's a really good movie.
Yeah, as expected, Bill and Kate play well off each other, but, you know, it should really only be watched if you have kids or you want something with genuine emotional value. And hey, it doesn't sound like Ellen DeGeneres is in that much of this one, and unless I'm mistaken.
Well, it's considered the film's called Finding Dory. They do actually follow Dory around the whole movie because she eventually gets picked up in the ocean at an aquarium. That's where she thinks her parents are. Marlon goes out to try and rescue her. And I don't really see us watching this movie as being just because you have kids. I mean, animation for me is ageless. Yes, there's some things that may be a bit more geared towards someone who's young, like Dora the Explorer. But even in those kind of shows, I still find some charm in them.
Yeah, animation's not always for kids, and it's not just for kids, but a lot of it is best watched with kids. I'll say that much.
In 2016, now this is a bit of a, I don't know what I call controversial. It's the film called Sausage Party, produced by Seth Rogen, and it's all about the world of food, where they're told basically the
Anthropomorphized.
The food is actually alive and sentient, and they're told that when they get picked up and bought by someone, they're sent to the great beyond, which Bill Hader's character, Firewater, reveals that it's all a lie. They made it up because, there's some pretty harsh scenes, and when she's peeling the potato, it's definitely played up for big laughs. There's also a lot of sexual stuff.
Nick Kroll's talking douche character actually kills one of Bill's three characters.
I believe he kills El Guaco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, the thing about the great beyond is we invented it.
What?
I know, right? Hiya, how are you? Hiya, how are you? Hiya, how are you? Hiya, how are you? Pretty good.
Bill is like the grandmaster wizard of doing this stuff. He was so amazing. We tried to break it down. It's like part First Nations, part Johnny Carson.
And it has kind of like a teenage girl vibe to it.
Yeah.
Anybody want to hit before we do this? Anybody? Twin?
Tequila, El Guaco, and Firewater. Yeah, that's all Bill Hader. You would never know it was the same guy.
I mean, someone's got to be writing this shit down. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm too busy to do this. Someone to write this shit down.
I can't write this shit down. I can't be doing all these fucking things at once.
Kiss the hand that so readily caresses their faces. Look at the face.
Jose Tequila, who gets killed off, but there's also a second minor character who plays called El Guac, who is, of course, guacamole. But his main character is Firewater, which is a bottle of booze. They had him voice it as somewhat indigenous, and he is the leader of the non-perishables. And insert clip. On the whole, yes, there's some rather extreme bits with the potato peeling and one burning theme where Seth Rogen plays one of a pack of wieners. Kristen Wiig plays part of a pack of hot dog butts, and there's a sort of like romance going on between them. They can't quite, of course, they're in separate packages. They can't connect. There's one running joke about they basically reach out of the package and touch the tip of each other's finger, so again, just the tip. Wah.
Yeah, so this movie's basically like, what if we took Toy Story but made it Food Story and also made it for adults so we could put in dirty jokes and drug references and sex and cussing. And that's it. And once you look past the intentional crassness, it's just Bill doing these hacky, stereotypical ethnic voices and scenes that are kind of centered around drug and alcohol. It's like the type of accent that like 2016 was the very last year that a white voice actor could get away with doing that. 2017 would be pushing it just a little bit, but it's just it's very specific to its own moment in time that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say it's not really worth watching at all, even from a small clip. But Deej, I pose this question to you. Would you say Sausage Party is Brother Solomon bad or just bad?
Well, you're probably going to be surprised my answer here. I actually thought it was pretty okay. I had low expectations going into it, But after watching it, there were a lot of parts of it I did actually enjoy. There's a bit of commentary about the state of existence. Actually, the one thing I will compare this in is: are you at all familiar with a legendary bad animation called Food Fight?
It sounds familiar, but I can't say that I've seen it.
Seen many videos on this, and in that one, if all the mascots on all the different food items were alive, the end of the night when the grocery stores close down, a new city comes to life with cameos from Mr. Clean, Charlie the Tuna. There's also a bunch of made-up ones, because one of them they have is Sunshine Goodness, played by Mandy Moore, who's sort of this hybrid human cat-like creature who is the mascot for Raisins. What's really interesting about that, Charlie Sheen's a dog. He makes a comment about how much he loves her raisins. Raisins are actually toxic to dogs.
I'm sure that Food Fight was made in the pre-internet era when, it wasn't as easy to do that type of research, especially if you're making something that you don't feel requires that level of research. So, and, no one would go on the internet to complain about the inaccuracy of this animated short either. So,
oh, it's not short. It's a full-length feature released in 2012. Sausage Party, I feel, is worth watching at least once, and actually, it's now become a Netflix series.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, given the state of Netflix animation, and I do remember someone passed around on social media I'm pretty sure this was just engagement bait. So this movie ends with the clip of a literal food orgy, doesn't it? Because
Sausage Party, yes.
Yeah, because I've seen someone pass around that clip on social media and add the caption, "No way, this movie was made for kids," and the comments are full of people like, well, at least half the comments are full of people like, "Of course not, you dumbass. It's called Sausage Party. It was produced by Seth Rogen. Look it up."
It's very similar to what's been happening with the show Has Been Hotel. Is you have all these Christian groups. I'm not knocking Christians in general, just the more extremes of them, like your 1 Million Moms types, where they're protesting that why are you showing Has Been Hotel that's all full of sex and violence? It's like they never state it's a kids movie, because this is where you get into there's people still stuck in the notion that anime is just for animation or anime is just for kids. And you can have funny animations like the movies or Warner Brothers, but you can also have more serious animations. It can be more, and it's been good that people are allowing it to be more these days, but you still got some people who are still stuck in the old ways of things.
Yeah, I've given Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss a try. I mean, I've seen the pilots, but I've never come back to the entire series of either, because it just felt a little too campy for my tastes. I mean, Vivzy Pop, I like the animation she did for Weird Al's Polkamania.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a fan of her series. Did you hear that Weird Al said he was, she originally tried to get him to voice Lucifer, but he turned it down because it would have been too profane for him as a low-key born-again Christian, which I just found out about him recently and kind of explains a lot.
Yes, there's a lot of camp, there's a lot of humor. Concepts around it because the whole plot with Has Been Hotel, it's you got once a year, heaven sends down an army of angels to kill a bunch of people, residents of hell, to stop overpopulation. And Charlie Morningstar, who's Lucifer's daughter, gets the idea of why don't we try and rehab them so they can actually go up to heaven? And there's, of course, people very much against that. The songs are incredible. Same thing of Hell of a Boss. I would highly recommend giving them another try, because I guess maybe it depends on how much do you love music. Do you like musicals at all?
Some musicals, sure.
Another uncredited role, 2018, Ralph Breaks the Internet. And he plays J.P. Spamley, who is a clickbait salesman, because they have to get a part for Vanellope Von Sweet's game Sugar Rush. And so they go on the internet. Arcade just got connected to the internet. They run into JP's family, who takes them to a site where they can really expensive, valuable items in the game and sell them at a higher price.
Want to get rich playing video games? Click here to find out how.
Come on!
There's a lot of cool stuff here. I'll be right here if you change your mind, brother. Want to get rich playing video games? Click right here to find out how.
Back off, pop-up. Right this way, miss.
Dang pop-up blockers. Why does everybody gotta be so mean? Come on, click here and I'll take you to my website. Oh, you got a ample carriage there, Buster. Causing a little drag. I know what you're thinking. Not to worry, my antivirus guy was just here. Clean as a... Oh, my gosh, that's embarrassing. Hey, Gord! But I do have a system here. I really do. If I can just find that... Gord! I just gotta find this list. Folks go into games, they harvest the most coveted items, and they sell them on my website to the highest bidder. Uh-huh.
I've also seen the first Wreck-It Ralph, and I enjoyed it genuinely. And this I've only seen a clip of, but the sequel seems just as genuinely charming as the first one. And it does seem like Bill's character serves a pivotal plot point in the film, introducing them to loot hunting. So for those reasons, I would say this is worth watching, both for Bill's part and because it's a Pixar movie, and those are good for everyone.
And speaking of Pixar, next is, in 2019, Toy Story 4. Now, this one is definitely a blink and you'll miss it kind of scene. Axel the Carney. The plot of Toy Story 4 is the older brother's younger kid makes a toy called Forky, a spork, some pipe cleaners, and 2 googly eyes. She lost Sporky on a road trip, and they're trying to basically get Sporky back to her. At one point, Buzz Lightyear sort of gets catapulted into a carnival. Porta Potty sees the toy Buzz Lightyear on the ground and basically puts it up on his prize wall for the game he's running. It's definitely not a role to watch the movie for, because she basically says,
Right.
Bunny and Ducky. So we have Key and Peele. They're basically saying, we've been here a long time. We're the ones going home next. Trying to buzz with his foot, but he has to get the help from the bunnies so he can get a bit more momentum to actually try and kick Lightyear in the head.
Hey, up here, Astro Boy. If you think you can just show up and take our top prize spot, you're wrong. Dead wrong.
You don't understand. I'm trying to
Cheat the system and get with a kid? Yeah, we know.
No, I need...
A child to shower you with unconditional love? Join the club, pal. Yeah, join the club.
Come on, help me get out of here.
I'll help you. With my foot. Get him. Ho, get him.
Bunny, what are you doing? I can't reach him. Help me out here. Come on.
Oh, sorry, Ducky. I'm not a mind reader, you know.
What's not to understand? You gonna make me say it?
What?
With these tiny legs, I cannot reach without your help.
Oh.
All right? Okay? This is what I've been talking about, Bunny. You need to work on paying attention and your listening skills.
Ha! How you like that, cheetah? Huh? Wow! Yeah! Oh, to infinity and my foot!
I saw this in the theater, and it's, I would say in general, don't watch for Bill, just watch it because it's Toy Story.
Yeah, I'd agree with that exact take. This is definitely the only Toy Story I just haven't gotten around to yet for whatever reason, so I think I missed my window of opportunity to see it in the theater. I haven't even gotten to read the Tom Richmond, Desmond Devlin Mad style parody of it called Oi Story 4 from their Claptrap book, but I'll definitely read that one soon. I did see like a speech bubble in the splash panel of the characters Key and Peele play saying, you know, on our show we did this great job satirizing, you know, racial stereotypes, so why are we now in chains up here in this movie? I shouldn't have even badly paraphrased it that way, but yeah.
Bill Hader is the only voice actor in Toy Story who's also appeared in the anime movie specifically for Disney Plus called Lightyear, and he plays Featheringham Stan. It's just a part of the beginning. He's a rookie. They're on a Lightyear mission.
I brought the rookie.
Hello?
No. Buzz, protocol requires we bring him along.
He's gonna have sad eyes.
Buzz?
You know I can't deal with sad
Look
eyes.
at the rookie, Buzz.
Nope.
Look at the Look.
No.
Lightyear.
Nope.
Look at him.
Not looking.
Look.
Nope.
Look.
No,
look,
no,
look,
no,
look
no,
at
no.
the rookie.
Look, featherings. Feather.
It's Feathering Impton, sir.
Look, rookie. First, you will not speak unless spoken to.
Yes, sir.
Still talking. Look, what I'm trying to say, Commander, is that you and I have this job down.
Sir?
Still talking. At any moment, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're gonna be. Really uninhabitable. In fact, outright hostile.
I'll go to the engine room.
I'll take the helm.
I will.
Do nothing. I've got this.
Do you need my help?
Negative.
Are you sure?
Instead of having Tim Allen as Bud Lightyear, they have Chris Evans playing the part. It was worth a watch once, whole the way through. It was okay.
Yeah, so Bill's character is basically, in Star Trek terms, a red shirt, and is treated how the USS Enterprise treats any rando ensign with a red shirt sent out to die on a new planet. So, I mean, I'd say it's not worth watching for Bill, not necessarily worth watching because it's a Toy Story Pixar thing. It's mainly worth watching if you are, such a Pixar Toy Story completionist that you need to figure out the convoluted way this fits into the Toy Story canon, because the clip I saw literally has a text scroll saying in 1995 Andy's mom took him to see this movie, which he loved so much he made her buy him the toy, and that's pretty much it. And visually I don't quite buy it as like a 90s movie or a live action thing in a Pixar universe. It just looks kind of odd to me. The main thing I remember this for is the controversy over casting Chris Evans in an old Tim Allen role, because that got, some of the right-wing culture warriors going, hey, they're trying to cancel Tim Allen next. They're trying to wipe him from Disney Toy Story history by recasting because he's a conservative. It's like, no, it's its own separate thing, and that's as much as anyone would really care to explain it to them, or they'd care to hear, but whatever.
And as far as I know, that he is going to be in Toy Story 5.
Yes, I've heard that's true too.
Okay, so the final pure animation little teeny bit part is the 2024 movie If, which is about imaginary friends and how you let go of them. This particular character plays is a banana who is basically a fitness banana. So he has a few cute parts throughout the thing, so it's not quite essential to the plot, but still, he does the best of what he does his thing with what he has.
Down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Really bend those knees, lady.
Am I looking red?
Yes.
But on the whole, I really did like this movie. I know some people have some issues with it just because they seem a bit too simple, but the idea, because not only is Bill in here as a voice, because it has a bunch of all the ifs, which are all the imaginary friends. The main one played by Steve Carell, and so they're all computer animated, and so this is kind of like borderline animation type of thing. And then you have live action with Ryan Reynolds. So the other live action characters in it is actually played by Bobby Moynihan.
Really? I mean, I must have blinked
Yes.
when I saw the online teaser trailer because I might have missed him.
His part, and I guess kind of be a little bit spoilery, is he works for an ad company. He's trying to get hyped up for do a presentation that he's really nervous about, and they reunite him with his imaginary friend to give him sort of some moral support. And of course, you know my love for Bobby Moynihan, who is probably my third favorite after Bill Hader for SNL. He's just such a sweetheart in real life, and he plays a real sweetheart in this movie. I can't believe I had any imaginary friends when I was a kid. I did have a recurring nightmare character, which I won't go into. But the idea of reconnecting with eventually you let go of your imaginary friends, and they try to match the imaginary friends up with new kids so they don't fade into memory.
The only footage of Bill's part that exists of him is as a talking banana in an online teaser trailer, like he's teaching an aerobics class, like, woo, shake that thing. And then Ryan Reynolds is like, like twice. He's like, dude, put some pants on. You're around children. So it's like, it's not worth watching just for Bill, because stuff like that feels kind of cheap. I mean, this Ryan Reynolds is the Steve Carell seems pretty decent in it, but Ryan Reynolds is the male lead, so this might hinge on how you feel about him personally now as to whether you want to see it, because he's I think this was when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, so he was just everywhere at this point, even lawsuits his wife was involved in aside.
He's one of my favorite Canadians. I still remember him from way back, late 80s, teen drama that was actually filmed in Vancouver. One of my classmates played a character in that called 15, very much like Michael J. Fox. I've been seeing him in roles up in Canada and throughout his career. I would say as a film, it's definitely worth watching. It's on Paramount Plus, not just for Bill, but Bill is sort of a nice little surprise. Before we get into some parts of these are kind of animation, but mostly live action or kind of a voiceover. But I still feel deserve a mention of the things that he has done in films. So we go to we're going back to 2010 for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He is the voice. So any of the video game stuff, basically when the video game narrator comes on, that's Bill.
That was so long ago now I can barely remember.
Scott is acutely aware that his last salon haircut took place exactly 431 days ago, 3 hours before his big breakup. He's been cutting his own hair ever since.
So long ago.
Sort of done as a favor to Edgar Wright, who is the director of the film. It's not a watch for Bill, because you don't really see him, and his role is there, but kind of sporadic. But Scott Pilgrim is one of those movies that you either love it or you don't. And personally, I love it. I've watched it several times. I find it absolutely hilarious. And of course, you got Chris Evans, you got Brandon Ralph as a superpowered vegan who doesn't quite have all. He's one toy short of a Happy Meal, basically.
From playing Superman to that, wow.
Yeah. Well, guy has range.
This may be worth watching for him because it is a small role. He's omnipresent. He's basically the narrator, so you may not have a choice but to watch the whole film for his parts, because things he says out of context wouldn't work. I did hear it get great reviews, however much of it holds up in 2025, and I've been told by people that I should see it because they liked it and they think it's something I would like, so I'll have to give it a go at some point. Just one of those things I haven't gotten around to. It's another shameful blind spot.
And there's one of the fight scenes, one of the climactic fight scenes. Scott Pilgrim defeats one of the evil X's. They shatter into a bunch of coins, of course, being taken place in Canadian, based on a Canadian graphic novel. It's, of course, Loonies and Toonies.
Yeah, that does seem like something I have to check out in its full form.
Yeah, no, I've seen that several times. I bought the DVD. It is one of my favorite movies. I love it so much. 2016, he did a project with Steven Spielberg called The BFG, based on the children's book, which is one he mentioned that he was reading. He has read to his daughters. They're not only doing the voice of one of the giants. Jermaine Clement is the lead giant, Flesh Lump Eater. Bill Hader is his sort of like the second in command. So Jermaine's the brawn, he's the brains, the blood bottler. They not only did the voice, but they also did motion capture for them.
Let the boys sleep in the day.
Well, we is all awake now. We might as well... frolic. Yeah, we might as well frolic. Frolic? What's frolic? Frolic. You know, like... Oh, yeah, frolic. Frolic. Yeah.
Don't just take it.
That this was actually filmed up in Vancouver. Now, he's actually been back and forth to Vancouver a few times for different things, like Hot Rod, Night at the Museum 2, and of course this. His character's not in it much. It's a nice, charming film. I didn't mind it, but it's not something I will rewatch. I will try to find the clips for Bill Hader online. But I do like looking at watching the behind the scenes things when he's explaining how they go to giant school and they learn how to walk, where they also wear weighted shoes, so it basically changes their center of gravity. And there's this one a great behind the scenes bit of showing how they're basically learning how to be giants.
Yeah, I can't say it's worth watching just for Bill's character either, since it seems like he's in a small, supporting, inconsequential role, and what little footage of Bill's part that turned up online is about 99% of him being interviewed about playing this character rather than film clips, so...
We've been working with this great guy, Terry, who's been showing us how to walk like a giant, because we're about 50 feet tall, and so the atmosphere treats you differently, and your weight, and how my character kind of has this head, his neck's probably been broken once or twice, so he's kind of, it's a very interesting process of finding the giant, working with Terry, finding your character, making each character incredibly distinct, and then getting out and doing the scene. So you've done all this work, and then when you do it, it just kind of just comes right together. I think that's what's cool about this movie is you'll have these digital characters that we're all creating with a practical element of the little girl and of the queen and all. There's real people playing those characters next to the BFG, and I think because they have the best people working on it, you're going to see it's going to be seamless. You're going to forget that these are all digital characters. It's all going to just, you're just going to believe there's giants.
The very last one we have is the 2007 Power Rangers movie, which he played Alpha 5. Know their Power Rangers lore. He's the robot who at one time in the series, he voiced by Richard Horvitz, who you would know from Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss, but also Invader Zim. The movie isn't animated, but his character definitely is animated.
I'm waiting for you. Wait, where's the other guy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there he is. All of you.
In a spaceship buried underground. How long have you been waiting?
What's today? Monday?
Yeah.
Then 65 million years.
And Alpha 5 was basically the robot who worked with Zordon, who in this iteration of the Power Rangers was played by Bryan Cranston, but in the original run of the TV series, he voiced a lot of the monsters in the first couple seasons of Power Rangers.
Wow, I see why they had to get him. He has that connection.
Yep, and that's why the character of Billy, his last name is Billy Cranston.
Bill's character is a chipper, wisecracking comic relief who seems instrumental in bringing the 5 leads together to meet and work on the special mission. He really seems to add a spark to this movie. I don't know if he appears much beyond that scene where he brings them all together. If he does, I'd say this is worth watching for him.
Oh, it is. It is, yes. Him, Bryan Cranston, and Elizabeth Banks, who is playing the villain, Rita Repulsa. There was actually an alien language made up.
And we had to have an alien language. We had to learn an alien language.
I noticed that. I did see that.
Yes.
Brian was speaking some weird Klingon-esque type of language.
Yeah, and then we had to have a conversation, and they, you have the script in front of you, and you're just reading. It's like, Ahun Hanihu Ni Suhaminsk. And then the director will be like, it's sorry, Bill, do it again. It's Huhaminsk.
This is a completely made-up language.
And I'm like, what? Is it like you worried someone from this planet's going to be in the audience? You're like, I'm like, no, come on. And, I will say, Elizabeth Banks is in the movie. She's Rita Repulsa. She's kind of the bad guy, and she's awesome in it. And she learned it and is fluent in it.
And she still knows it now?
She still knows it. She's like, oh, you mean... And I'm like, get out of here. Okay, so you're perfect.
there wasn't any controversy over Elizabeth Banks playing Rita Repulsa in this, was there?
No, not at all. She was awesome. I mean, when I heard she was actually playing Rita Repulsa, I thought, yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Now, Alpha 5 was definitely more of a comic relief character in the series, but the dynamic between him and Zordon in the Power Rangers movie, there's a lot of people were hoping that Bill would be doing Herbie in the latest Fantastic Four movie, but that's not the case.
Okay, well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode.
Indeed.
And for our next episode, I thought we would go back into the season 32 of SNL pool and that is the ludicrous double duty episode from November 2006.
Just to put it out there for people who are listening, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, we love to get other Bill Hader fans on to give some extra perspective on an episode or things like these. So you can contact us at wehearthater@gmail.com. Also, we're We Heart Hater Pod we got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got Threads. I think we pretty much did everything but Facebook.
We're on Facebook, but no. Well, yeah, we're on Facebook. We don't have as huge of a following there, but yeah, we're on every social media site you can name. I should know.
I have been Deej Barons and will continue to be.
And I will still be Casey Killingsworth until I am informed otherwise.
And just remember, there are no small roles, only small actors.
We Heart Hater, that's what we do.
Exactly. And it's a good thing to do. It's fun. It's
right.
Thank you for listening to We Heart Hater. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe and leave a rating and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. We Heart Hater is a presentation of Wacky Notion Productions. Created by Deej Barons. Hosted by Deej Barons and Casey Killingsworth. Recording and editing by Deej Barons. Intro and outro music by Music Unlimited, used under Creative Commons license, courtesy of pixabay.com.